So I've had this car for about 2 years, and it's been sitting right here for over a year. I haven't touched it. Probably got critters living in it and God knows what. I did wind up robbing the battery out of it for the gray car. So I put the battery back in here out of the gray car. I've got my jump box. We're going to see if we can get this thing started. The fuel in it was nasty, so I got that out. Put some fresh fuel in it. I just want to see if it'll even turn over. I don't know, like I said, that battery's junk. I did charge it, but let's see what this thing will do. Nope. All right. So we'll put the jump box on it. See if that'll help it. Probably not. Let's see if we can start a fire with some sparks and fuel back here. Nope. Well, shoot. Is my jump box there? Yes. Let me go charge up my jump box and we will start over. Alright, let's try this again. Finally got the jump box charged up. Oh, I gotta turn the switch off or on. Well, you raggedy piece of crap. I guess that battery just ain't gonna do it. Well, let me see what else I can come up with. Well, I finally got it to bust off. It took a while. I think all the fuel that was in the carburetor was bad, so I had to get some lawnmower gas and prime it a couple times, but then it fired right up. Smokes like hell. Still got good oil pressure. Let's see if it'll bust back off on its own. Oh yeah. I'm gonna let it sit here and run for a minute. And we'll try to get it pulled out of here and get it washed off a little bit before we pull it in the shop. And then we'll do a little work to this thing. Alright, we kind of got her cleaned up a little bit. Just washed some of the big chunks off of it. But surprisingly, once she started, she runs up, about like she did. This poor old motor that's in there is just wore out. It's a turd, but the plan was always to get that motor out and put something else in it, but for right now we're focusing on other stuff. It's been a while since I've messed with this car. I've kind of forgot where I'm at. I know I have a big pile of parts in here, but I know I got to finish up a little bit of the wiring. I've got everything to do the front end, but I think my big focus is going to be getting them ugly ass Mustang seats out and try to get these mounted. I have brackets and sliders and stuff to get those seats in there. I've got carpet, so I would like to get the inside all cleaned out, everything removed. I got sound deadener, so I'd like to get all the sound deadener in it and get carpet in it and try to get these seats mounted. Okay, so these are the seats that are in the car right now. They're like Mustang seats. I don't know what year. I just hate them. I don't like them. And this one is a power seat that doesn't work. And whoever put it in here before me obviously was a big old boy, because I can barely reach the pedals. So that's why we're trying to get these other seats in there. That way I can have, and they have sliders with them, so we can have some adjustability and get these ugly ass Mustang seats out of here. It's also got, this car had a cage in it at one time. It still has the rear part, but they cut the, where I guess where the halo was, they cut it off, and then the door bar. But it's got an old racing harness. I am sure it's way out of date. I'm gonna take it off too for now and try to just get all this cleaned up, because like I said, I do want to put some sound deadener on it and heat shield and get some carpet in it. So I'm gonna get these seats out. All right, got the seats out. The last time I worked on this car, we did the wiring and did all the gauges, kind of like what we just did in the gray car. It's got all new gauges, and I kind of just, I made a little dash bezel for it. The floorboards are pretty good. There's been some patching on this car, but nothing too serious. It does have some big holes from where things have been drilled. I'm sure at some point this was a bench seat car, but we're putting buckets in it, so we're just going to have to try to figure out the brackets and stuff. If you're wondering why I'm working on this instead of not that car, I haven't worked on that car in a while. Two reasons. We are week 4 of the government shutdown, and I work for a contractor, so we have been furloughed. So we're working on a month that I haven't worked. So, and we're not like the federal government where when they do go back to work, we get back pay and all that. We're just kind of screwed right now. So this car needs stuff. I need supplies, stuff like that. So I'm trying not to spend any money or any unnecessary money at the moment. And 2, I need to do some things to this car with stuff that I already have that I'm not spending money on, because if it goes on much longer, I'm gonna have to start parting ways with some of this stuff, even though I don't want to. But this will be the first one to go if it does come to that. Hopefully it doesn't, but just that's the way it is sometimes. But anyway, I'm going to try to finish cleaning this all out, get it dried out. There's water in there from where I washed it. I think the only thing I like on the wiring was wiring it. This is for, I think, the dome light. So I may try to do something with that real quick before we get too far into this. But I'm going to try to figure the brackets out for the seats before we put the sound deadener in, because I don't want to have to screw with that stuff if I have to move the brackets and stuff around. So bear with me. So as usual, nothing is going right. I've got the slider mounted to the seat. That's all fine. The bracket fits the floorboard, but the way the brackets are made, I don't know if you can see that, but there's supposed to be little tabs on the front that screw in to the corners here. My sliders don't have that. They're just smooth, like, and has bolt holes here. So I think I'm gonna have to make something, unfortunately. I hate to have to do that, but that's kind of where we're at right now. So I'm gonna dig around through all my junk and see if I can find something that I can make a bracket out of that will bolt to this, you know, bolt this to the sliders. So this here's the front. So let's see if I can hold this. So there's nothing for it to bolt to. Those, there's supposed to be little weird brackets on the front that bolts in those holes there. So let me see what I can come up with. All right, so I found some little L brackets that I had to drill some holes in them to kind of line everything up. I don't know if you can see it very good, but I'm gonna try to put the bracket on it now and see how this is gonna work. The problem is I only had enough of those brackets to do one seat, so I'm still gonna have to figure out something for the passenger side. But I want to get it in the car and kind of get an idea where it's going to sit. And if this is going to be too high or too low or what. Or if these are even going to be stiff enough. I mean, who knows? Barely wants a bit more line up. Alright, move y'all where y'all can see what's going on here. Maybe. Oh yeah, that is definitely going to be too high. So, dang it. That is way too high. All right. I can move it up to these holes here, but I'm gonna have to grind those bolts down because that wants to hit. But that'll give me maybe an inch. I mean, that's not very much. It really needs more than that, but I don't know. Let me try that and see what happens. Okay, so I put the bracket in the other holes and give me a little more room, but it still feels too high to me. And it feels like the seat is like leaned, like the bottom is leaned up. So what I think I'm gonna do is just weld the bracket to the sliders. That'll give me about another ½ inch. And then I could space the back up a little bit to kind of tilt the seat that way. But like my legs are almost hitting the steering wheel. So I don't like that. And I just feel like I'm leaned back too far. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And if that works, then I'll do it with the passenger side too. And that way I don't have to worry about making brackets for it. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. Yeah, can't nothing just be simple bolt-in stuff, you know. But we're getting there. But yeah, I think I'll just do that. I'll take it all back out, take that bracket off, and just weld it directly to the sliders. All right, so this is where we're currently at on this thing. We're going to just weld the bracket directly to the seat, like the adjuster slider things. I think I've got it pretty centered, so we're just gonna burn it in. Alright, so I got the brackets welded to both seats. I'm gonna kind of let them cool off a little bit and spray a little black paint on where we had to grind the paint or powder coat, whatever it was on there. I got my holes and everything marked for the brackets in the floor. I'm gonna go ahead and drill those out and get this thing ready to mount some seats, hopefully. Like I said, I'm gonna try to shim this one up a little bit in the back to where it doesn't feel like I'm falling into the back seat area. Alright, I got my holes drilled. I'm going to use these little nut certs or whatever they're called. Instead of just running bolts through the floor, I'm going to try to use these. Hopefully they're sturdy enough. Where I drilled the holes, the sheet metal seems to be a little thicker on this little hump right here, so I'm hoping it's okay. We'll find out, I guess, if we ever wreck it in the seat trip out of the floorboard. There's like 500 holes in the floor over here anyway, from I don't know what all. still not mounting it permanent. It's just temporary for now because I still got to pull it out to do the carpet and all that. I just want to make sure that it's going to sit like I want it to sit. And I'm going to have to space up that corner back there, so I need to figure out how much of a spacer I need. I hope that left me enough room, or you know, where I cut or welded the seat bracket just directly to the seat. Some of these are hard to get to with the seat mounted to it. Can't see nothing. I think that's doable. It ain't great. I do think I'm gonna have to move my shifter too up a little bit. I've got a little console that I'm gonna put in this car too. That probably needs to share the same space. So hopefully I can just unbolt it and move it up a little bit. But I don't know. I think it'll be all right. It's not super comfortable, but I don't think these seats are meant to be super comfortable. It just seems very high in the front. I may try to space the back up just a little bit more. But I think that'll work for now. I'll go ahead and try to get the other one mounted and see how it's going to do. But yeah, I mean, and I've got the seat sitting right in the middle of the adjustment, so it'll still go quite a bit forwards and quite a bit backwards. So I should have just cut that stupid cage out while I was in there, but because I don't think the harness bar, you know, is where it needs to be for this seat anyway. But oh well, we ain't got to worry about that right now. Alright, that's with both seats mounted. It kind of almost looks like the passenger one might lean that way just a tad. I put a couple of spacers on the inside. It looks like I might need to do a little, well, I don't know. It's hard to tell. But you can feel it when you're sitting in it. You feel like you're leaning over towards the center a little bit, but it is what it is. The way the floor is made on this side, it doesn't feel like the seat is, you know, tilted this way as bad as the driver's seat. So that's good because my wife does not like to be all laid back in the seat. She likes to sit up. So she'll definitely be okay with that, I think. And then it, you know, slides in and out a little more. So she'll have plenty of adjustment. I think it sits good enough for her. I did kind of set the little console in there. It sits way too far back. So the shifter definitely is going to have to move forward a little bit, but I think it, you know, it's fine. The shifter feels like it's too far back when you're sitting in the seat anyway. Like it's, you know, you could be out here with it and still be fine. So I'll probably put it about right there. That way I can get my console up here. But yeah, I think that'll work. So now I just got to take all this back out and get everything cleaned up so we can get the sound deadener on it, throw the carpet in it real quick, and then get the seats mounted back in there permanently. But yeah, I definitely like that better than these ugly ass Mustang seats. So I'll get them pulled back out real quick and I'll try to keep up with my spacers, make sure everything stays in the right spot, and just keep plugging along on this thing. Alright, so I have this kill mat that I'm going to put down first. Don't really have a plan. I'm just going to start peeling and sticking. Probably didn't get the floor as clean as it needed to be, but I vacuumed it out and blowed it out. and took the kick panels out, but I'm not going to. I know a lot of people just use this for sound deadening and they don't cover the entire floor, they just put a few pieces here and there. But we're going for not only sound deadening but also for heat shield. That's ugly. To work my way around the lead for the coolant temp sensor is about the only thing going through the firewall over here. Ugh. I guess it'll hurt to kind of overlap it in places. Alright, but you kind of get the idea, so we're going to keep working at this, try to get this whole floor covered. Alright, that is what one full box of kill mat will do. I still got a little back here that I didn't get covered, like under where the seat would be, which this car is not going to have a rear seat. I eventually want to build like a flat panel and then maybe a flat like where the seat would be and just cover it with something. So that's good enough for now. I think I got pretty good coverage. This stuff went on pretty easy. It's really easy to work with. I like it. I do have another box. I bought 2 boxes because I didn't know how much it would take, and I thought if I had extra I would use it on that car over there, but I think it turned out all right. I think it's good enough for this, you know, this ratty old thing. But yeah, like I do think I will take some out of that other box and go ahead and at least cover the rest of the floor, and then whatever I decide to do back there later, you know, it'll be done. But I did go ahead and figure out and move my shifter up a little bit where I want it, so I'll have to figure out how to mount my console and stuff later. But yeah, I think all we got left now is just throw carpet in it, and of course we'll have to cut holes for the throttle cable and for all the bolts for the seats and shifter and everything. So, but yeah, I like it. Alright, I'm gonna try to get this carpet installed. I gotta trim it out around where this roll bar goes, so hopefully I don't screw this up. I don't know if my scissors are gonna be sharp enough. Oh yeah, maybe. The bad thing is I can't take this panel out because the roll cage is in the way. So I'm just going to try to have to try to tuck it under there, I guess. Trim some of the excess off. Make sure I kind of got it where it needs to go. Ooh, ow. This might be a little trickier than I thought it was going to be. Huh. Shoot. Get out of there. Do a little trim. Maybe it'll tuck under there, hopefully. I got a wiring harness that's right there. It ain't giving me much room. It's kind of tucked in there. for this little corner right here, but that's fine. All right, so I've got my bolts for my seats. So instead of trying to cut a hole, I use this. This is for my air hammer. I don't know if you can see, but it has got burnt black stuff all over it. This is what I use this for. I just heat it up and melt a hole in it. That way it doesn't fray. So we're going to attempt to do this if I got any stuff left. Come on. Oh, I guess it's already on. I bet it's out. Get it good and hot. Find my spot. And there you go. 1, 2. And that melts all the little fibers, so you don't have to worry about it fraying. And you have good little holes for your bolts. So we'll do that on the front. When we get the front in there, I got to do for the front bolts for the seats and for the shifter, and then I'll have to do one for the shifter cable. So let's put it down there. Don't want to put it in there hot. So go ahead and take these bolts out. That way the washers and everything will be on top of the carpet, and that'll kind of help hold it in place. Get all this done, I'll put when we get the front end too, I'll put the sill plates in to kind of hold the carpet. Hopefully I didn't trim too much off of it. But I'll go over to get the other side done. Tried to take this kick panel out, but I took all the screws out, but it's like it's glued in there, like maybe somebody glued it in there before or something. So I don't know what's going on there. So this might be kind of a pain. Do this without breaking it. Down good. I think I'm gonna have to trim quite a bit off of it. maybe. I don't want it bunching up around the gas pedal. What am I gonna do with my scissors? Not laying down good. Needs to come this way quite a bit. So this is by far the worst fitting carpet I have ever dealt with. So what I think I'm going to do, I've already put the sill plate on this side to try to hold it. I got my holes burned in for my seat. I think I'm going to go ahead and bolt the seat in to hold this carpet down so I can pull it tight that way. And it looks like I am going to have to trim quite a bit. I've got it pretty close over here, I think. It just, like I said, it just does not, there's so much, like, I don't know, like it just ain't laying right, but I'm sure it's just, you know, again, I got bit by buying cheap parts. I want to say I got this off of like eBay or whatever, but just something cheap. But I mean, ooh, my light's going out. But anyway, I'm gonna get that seat bolted in and we'll try to get this side trimmed up and tucked in everywhere it needs to go, and hopefully it'll fit a little better. All right, I got it pretty tight on the driver's side, but it is still wonky over here. But I went ahead and bolted the seat and the shifter in, and I got my bolt holes made. But what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and bolt the seat in, and that'll kind of hold it, and then I'll pull it over for the, I'll have to trim some of this for the sill plate. And I think that's just going to be as good as it's going to get. That's kind of ugly where I had to make my hole for my shifter cable. But does anybody know the model of shifter this is? There's no markings on it. It's got a B&M shift lever, but it's got like mounting points here and there. I would like to find a little cover for it so it wouldn't be so ugly. But I've tried like Google image searching it, and it comes up with like a Hurst mega shifter, but then you look at a picture of a Hurst mega shifter, it doesn't really look like that. So if any of my followers can identify that, shoot me a comment and let me know what it is, so maybe I can try to find a little cover for it and clean that up a little bit. But yeah, this, I mean, it is what it is. It's not great, but it's just gonna have to do. So let me get this other seat in and try to get all this trimmed, and we'll see what it looks like when we get all that together. Well, it's all in there, as good as it's going to get. I'm hoping that after time that the carpet over here will kind of settle down. I think it's just, I don't know what's the matter with it, but it's good enough. Got the console in, got the shifter and everything done, both seats. On the driver's seat, I am going to have to take it back out eventually. This bolt hole, the little nut zert that I put in it, is just spinning, so the bolt won't tight down, so I'm gonna have to pull that out and redo that or just put a bolt or something through it. But I mean, it's fine for right now. It's not like we're driving this car anyway. The rear end's out in it, but I mean, I can yard drive it. But console's just about right. I do want to find like a cover or something. I may just have to make something. But yeah, I still got to do like the A-pillar trim. I got to get all that put on there, but it all needs cleaned up and painted. And I ain't got no more black paint right now. So, but yeah, I mean, I like it. I like the way it turned out. I just need to get some new door panels now. Get these ugly things off of it, and plus both of them are broke. But yeah, they're in sad shape. But I think it turned out pretty good. I mean, considering it's all just cheap stuff. I mean, I think eBay carpet, swap meet seats. I think the biggest expense was the brackets and stuff that I bought. And the console, you know, it was a little expensive, but not too bad. And then like when I did the gauges and stuff, I made that little panel. So, I mean, not bad for a couple days work. I'm happy with it. It's way better than it was. Like I said, I hated them damn Mustang seats. But yeah, I like it. I think get some decent floor mats and put in it. And, clean up the rest of the interior. And I do, like I said, I do want to get a panel made for, you know, just to cover the like the back shelf area and where the back seat is supposed to be. Just make a flat, maybe cover it in black vinyl or something, and then make like a little flat shelf, just something we can throw a bag in if we're going somewhere. I really, like I said, I ain't 100% sure what I'm gonna do with this car. The big block has to come out. That thing is just, it's just a turd. So it's coming out. I don't have an extra Pontiac engine. That's what I really wanted to do, was build a pretty stout little Pontiac motor for it. I do still have the LS that I built for a turbo motor. We may wind up putting that in there. I've got everything to redo the front end with some drop spindles, because this thing sits way too high in the front end, so we need to get the front end down. And still haven't done anything with the rear end. The rear end just makes horrible noise on decel, but anyway, yeah, I think it's good enough. That should be my new slogan for my shop, good enough. So, but anyway, I think that's where I'm gonna end this video. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it, and we will catch y'all in the next one. And go work on your junk.